Welcome in. Follow Everton. Well, that was something.
We survived. Negative fighting. They dominated, and we got away with a point. But we could have gotten a penalty. Should have gotten a penalty. Sounds like you're cutting out there, Chad.
Oh wait. All right.
There we
Let's.
go.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see if this works. I might have to unplug this and go with the earbuds. But yeah, I don't. That was one of those where it felt like no one deserved a point. I certainly think we didn't, although there was a lot to like. All right. Let's intro this. I see we have 45, 46 people on right now. So thank you so much for joining us. This is post match Everton Newcastle. I'm Chad. This is Chris. This is Follow Everton. So we appreciate you joining, and please follow us on your socials, tell your friends. Chris, it's like what, 2:30 in the morning for you now in Australia?
Yeah, exactly right. So if my eyes are getting dark, it was I'm soldiering on after a wonderful wedding. I was a groomsman in yesterday, and I'm still live and kicking the day after.
All right, so let me ask you this. Was it worth staying up for?
No?
Yes. I didn't have to stay up, but I don't even know if it was worth it for me. Well, there's a lot to talk about. So I think
I felt the passion today in the game.
Oh,
and I've
man.
missed that the entire season. So
Yeah, I think it seemed like a great crowd. I hope any other, Ryan, Yan, any other follow Everton contributors that might be listening or about to listen in. Yeah, we would love for you to jump in and just give us your thoughts on the atmosphere in Goodison tonight. The crowd seemed electric. It's unfortunate they didn't get a performance to pay it off. But
even if Ryan has to play via saxophone to tell us his feelings because he's live, I'd take it because it's like, all right.
I mean, so the big story was Anthony Gordon, right? A local boy coming home, playing in front of Goodison. I don't.
Apple juice.
Did you? Yeah, my mic wants to keep going out. What did you find most appalling about Anthony Gordon tonight? Was it the penalty or was it his haircut?
I mean, his haircut is like. I mean, I feel like it's a British style I've never really absorbed, where it's like the bowl look and the overflow,
Just
like it's like an
completely shaved.
inverse portobello mushroom just on the head as a wig.
Yeah,
But I
not
think
not.
him falling over every time anyone looked at him was enough.
Yeah, he did not play. He did not play well. Thankfully, we did not get a good Anthony Gordon game out of them.
If they did, we lose today.
Yeah. I think you're right. If Isaac plays today, I think we lose. If any number of things happens today, we lose. I think we should be very thankful to come away with a point. We are missing, surprisingly, our left back and our best player and our center back, Jared Branthwaite. So those were late scratches this week. We did not hear about them picking up Knox at Sean Dyche's press conference, and it looks like it may have happened even yesterday or Thursday. I'm not exactly sure of the timing on those, so that was a bit of a surprise. So, Chris, when you saw how Everton, I didn't watch your pre-match. When you saw how they were lining up today, were you surprised by anything? I think it was pretty much how we all thought Sean Dyche was going to line up today.
Yeah, there wasn't a surprise. I was just worried, but I wasn't sure how Newcastle were going to break us down, even though we knew they were better in all categories. It's kind of funny that they had no tip of the spear. They had no Callum Wilson, no Isaac, and Gordon, although he is very effective in many ways, he doesn't know what to do when he's the 9. He's a false 9. He's more confused than Neil Maupay when he played for us. There are a couple times, clearly, he had a penalty. He can poach opportunities, and he had a couple chances today to score. But as a lead in the front, he struggled at it, which kind of helped us. But they had a pretty good we know they've got a good midfield. we after McNeil got his yellow, and like Mangala got subbed off surprisingly early in the second half. The game felt very different. Gueye did his job, but like,
Oh, I want to talk about Gueye. Well, I'll let you get your point. I would love to talk about Gueye.
So now, granted, I may have gotten sleepy by the end. Gueye, he just not positionally. He knows what he's doing, but I feel like he's just one leg off what he needs to do. He At the end of last year, we loved how he was in the right spot. Occasionally, he was scoring. We're like, we love him, and now it's like, okay, he can intercept, but he's always just behind the eight ball. But I know he's doing the right thing. I don't know if that helps you.
Yeah, I didn't understand. It was a strange sub.
At that time, it was weird.
Take Mangala off.
You know?
Yeah, hey, let's take it back and we'll start because I think there's an awful lot I want to say about Gueye, but he didn't come on until what, like the 55th minute or something like that. Let's go back to the first.
Look.
So I
57.
57. Okay, so I actually missed the first few minutes of this match coming home. So if anything eventful happened in that, I did see the highlight of Ndai's clearance. Anything in that the opening few minutes of the match that stuck out that I may have missed?
You mean the first half?
Yeah, the first half. The beginning of the first half.
Okay. So did you see that Michael Keane nearly gave an easy goal to Anthony Gordon?
No, I completely missed that.
So there was a ball bouncing. It was one of those, it's you take it in your chest and you knock it back to the keeper. You hoof it on the sideline, whatever. He went for a header. He didn't get enough power on it, and it was just awkwardly bouncing. And Pickford had to come and save him before Gordon just had a one-on-one with Pickford.
Okay. Newcastle certainly had more. I think Newcastle had 70% of the possession in that first half. Up and down, exciting. I thought it was the first half was a better brand of football than in the second half. I was actually pleased to go into the half at 0-0 still. I didn't think that. I thought holding them scoreless in the first half was a big win, especially considering we have Ashley Young and Michael Keane starting in the back. Anything really else? Anything else stick first half then besides the Anthony Gordon pen, and I feel like there might be one other big.
Yeah, I think you have to give credit to Jack Grealish. He was an inspiration to Iliman and Gueye on his calf raises. His calf was just thick enough that when he didn't see the ball coming, he blocked it with his calf and it went out of bounds when it was on the line. Do you know the goal? So basically, it was the one where Tonali flicked it to the back post. Gamarish, he takes a really a low grass cutter strike back towards the front post. It beats Pickford, and Gueye kind of sees it late, and it goes off his calf as he turns, and it spins out of play.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to pop off real quick. Hold it down for 1 second. I'm going to adjust these headphones, my microphone.
So it sounds like Chad might be working on some network issues. Welcome again. So I did see just right now, so Mr. Toffees, thank you so much for contributing to some of the Follow Everton memberships. That's really appreciated from our group. We're trying to get new content out. As I've said before, I pay separately for the video analysis tool. The challenge right now is I'm stuck with trying to get my computer set up while traveling, so I still need to get the video analysis part set up. But we pay for a few different functionalities here. StreamYard is getting a little bit more expensive, and we're looking at different options as well. So anytime people are looking to either contribute for others or just generally a form of donation like you are there, Mr. Toffees, thank you a great deal. My other question, which was based on the time zone of this response, where on earth, I guess literally, is Mr. Come On You Blues from? Because if he's from Perth, this is a very small world.
You may have found a friend right there in your own backyard. Um, so closing out the first half, Abdoulaye Doucouré had the header that was ruled offside. What a moment that was!
Hmm.
A fleeting, brief moment. What
He
a
did not look like he scored it. He was like, "Are you sure? All right."
yeah. Yeah. What I mean, that was probably the best bit of play we saw from Everton outside of some, brief moments of brilliance from Iliman Ndiaye. Um, that ball in from Garner was absolutely fantastic. I
Yeah.
think he was very, very good today. He was probably Everton's man of the match today. Um, you have to
Okay.
wonder. Yeah, he got
Pickford
right back more.
wins. Gone in a second.
Pickford. Oh,
Pickford wins.
I will give you that. Yeah, absolutely, especially with the penalty save. All right, so into the second half, it was a weird sub. I thought you had mentioned that when Deitch pulled Mangala off at 57.
Mhm.
Do we think there was anything behind that? He yanked Lindstrom early last match against Palace when at half when he didn't think Lindstrom was performing and he was throwing a downright temper tantrum. So do you think there's any reason why he pulled Mangala off? Are you seeing anything?
Well, I don't think Mangala. I At the time I thought Mangala was doing better than Doucouré, actually, and
Oh
I
yeah, I
put on the
agree.
group chat that I thought we need Adrissagana Gueye on for either McNeil or Doucouré, and then they took off the other one. I was like, okay. It was weird to me because I didn't think Mangala was doing bad. Maybe he was injured. They were rest. The other component which we've been hearing is like, are you resting players for international break? That heard, was it Luis Diaz and some of these others from Liverpool? They're like, did they rest them before the international break? But it doesn't make sense. Mangala was not playing that poorly. We were getting overrun, but I have to sit back and probably review video, to honestly know, was Mangala truly the problem where we were getting overrun? I think the problem is we had three players advanced that weren't physical enough and competing against the likes of Joel Linton consistently enough. And that's where Harrison went off, I think. We had to shake it up. We Instead of having three up front, we had three attacking mids. We went
Hmm.
three central mids and two, and we went to our famous Christmas tree of the 4-3-2-1 formation. The whole that gets four.
Yeah, it
Like,
looks like at that point they pushed McNeil to more to the right, but he had some freedom to come centrally when called upon,
yeah.
and
Well,
then
McNeil and Jai just
Doucouré,
kept swapping.
yeah, and then Doucouré, the backfield, the midfield two became Irobinum and Gueye, and then
Hmm.
Doucouré pushed higher. So it went back to what something Sean Dyche has proven that he likes is just seeing Doucouré in a more advanced role, probably hoping he could spark something. I thought Harrison was off of it today. Yeah, I thought it was the typical Jack Harrison performance that we seem to always get. He works hard, but the overall moments of quality are not there. The ball gets too sticky on his feet, gets taken away from him, missed
Hmm.
crosses. Just not a great Jack Harrison day, and that's what's so unfortunate about what looks like where yet Jesper Lindstrom looks like he is on this team right now. I don't think he's going to see any pitch time in the near future. So we're going to see Jack Harrison on the right for the short term. Anyway,
Yeah. So I think without truly railroading or redirecting, Peter and Wormy are having some conversations here, and I think it's an interesting. After us, just we cannot keep a clean sheet to save ourselves. This comment says something. My point, Wormy, defensively was all we were today. There wasn't really much going forward.
no,
The fact we were able to keep a clean sheet is interesting. I think we got lucky, absolutely. Gordon should have scored 2 goals today, and Bruno Guimaraes should have scored one. But at the same time, we actually held a clean sheet. We weren't beaten at the back post, a couple times, but it wasn't a chronic issue today. Pickford all of a sudden was resurgent coming out of the box. You felt there was some adaptation to us getting beaten defensively. We were still shaky. Michael Keane, I worry about him, but he held his own, I guess. But like, we just felt like we were dominated. They didn't break us down, which is credit, but we weren't good either. Like, it's just one of
Yeah.
these.
What
I
was
like
your
the intensity.
Yeah, did you have any bright spots? Did any bright spots offensively? It seemed like Iliman Ndiaye was doing what Ndiaye seemingly does now
Yeah,
for us, which was trying to advance the ball, trying to be aggressive, assertive in the final third. Just
yeah.
again, we probably lacked from him those same moments that I called Jack Harrison out for, but the ambition was there. So at least there's that. Um,
So I have to add this point, especially thanks to our premium subscriber here or donator. Gordon wasn't going to score in a brothel tonight. I don't think so. At least not on the blue side of Mersey, by the sounds of it.
uh,
He had the blues. Um, oh, I think the person that was the most surprising to me, and yes, it's out of position, but James Garner, credit to him today. He was out of position, but and if he wasn't positioned correctly, he was very good on recovery for the most part. But you like imagine just being thrown in the deep end. That's not your regular role. With that being considered, he was outstanding to me,
yeah, I thought so too. For
and he
not being
battled.
a natural fullback, I think I think he acquitted himself really well. I think he was. I don't think he really made a mistake, a costly mistake. All
Oh no, I mean he switched off, but we got lucky every time down
yeah.
that side.
Well, I mean, you can say that when Newcastle is going to have 3/4 of possession for the entire match. Like, there's going to be moments where you get burned or you switch off. I
Yeah.
mean, they're human. This is why this is the inherent flaw with Sean Dyche's system of booting it long to Calvert-Lewin and hoping to win a second ball when
Mhm.
he's flanked by very slight wingers and Dwight McNeil, and you're not going to win many second balls in that setup. So we're just giving possession back. All right, I want to talk about Idrissa Gana Gueye.
Okay.
So my guy came in at 57. I think defensively he was sound. He was fine. It didn't seem like he got run in behind. It seemed like his positioning was mostly solid. He may be one of the most offensively inept midfielders at this point in his career I have ever seen. We had the customary, shot from outside the box about 20 yards over the bar, which he does every single match. So that was like,
Mhm.
cross that off on your bingo card. Congratulations to Drissa. And I think the news coming out of this match will be, was it a pen on DCL there? And regardless of that,
It was
just
to
like
me.
it was a pen. It was a pen, but it's not even an issue if Idrissa Gana Gueye doesn't follow that sitter up and put it in the back of the net. That's it.
I screamed like, "How did you miss it 3 times watching this sequence?"
Every other player on that pitch puts that in the back of the net except for Idrissa Gana Gueye, and again sails it straight over the bar. From how far out was he? He was
I'm gonna
six
go
feet out.
6.5 yards to be kind to him.
Or, yeah, 6 yards out. It was. I don't. He's someone I'm. You know what? I'm glad his contract is running out, and I'm ready to move on from Idrissa Gana Gueye. Are we having good comments here? Ryan just
Ryan
tuning
tuning
in.
in.
Ryan, come
He's
on.
turning
Jump
on to
in.
follow Everton Fan TV Radio.
Yeah, Ryan, jump on in. Chris is running on 27 straight hours with no sleep. Let us know your thoughts.
Brought
Jump
to
in
you
if you can.
by Australian apple juice from Harvey Fresh.
Yeah, that's how we stay hydrated. Garner man of the match. If we play like this every game, I'm a happy blue. The wins will come.
Interesting.
That's I don't know if I agree with that. I think we saw a Newcastle team today that wasn't very efficient, wasn't very good. And I think if we give that level of performance week after week, it's going to be a long season.
And if I'm gonna be kind of what Scouser 66 has to say, I actually feel the same way that there was a passion today by the Everton players that I haven't felt. Like they can feel upset or down, but there was a commitment that brought back the we're in it together energy from last year. It wasn't polished in any way, but there was a grit to this match that I really appreciated. I'll take that piece of what Mr. 66 says.
Yeah, I think you're right. It seems like, I'm not in Liverpool, but it seems like the feeling around the club has changed. We got the news of the freaking takeover. We had a good performance, well, good second half performance last weekend, and I think there was some real optimism coming into this weekend that Newcastle is not at full strength. We are home at Goodison. Everyone is coming back into fitness. And then, of course, we were surprised to see Mikolenko and Branthwaite out. So I think there is starting to be a better feeling around this club. So maybe that is the reason why we saw some of that enthusiasm today. I thought they played really hard. I thought Dwight McNeil gave a ton of effort and heart, left it out there. You could see by about the 75th minute, everyone was dead on their feet, with the exception of like Tim and a couple of the subs that had come in. I thought Irubunam was very good in his limited minutes today. By the way, I was glad to see him come out onto the pitch. Did it ever look like we were going to get a goal in those final 20 or so minutes?
The last 20, it didn't seem like it at all.
Yeah.
But what was funny, and let's see if I can find this quick. There is an item on SofaScore where they show like how well the teams dominated, and according to the metrics, let's see if I can get this guy. So let me pull this up. I think you'll get a kick out of this if I can get it to work. Share screen. So do you see that little this guy on the left?
Yeah.
That's showing the attack momentum of
Okay.
the bottom is Newcastle, the top is Everton.
I kind of figured that, but I just by looking at it. Yeah, that's Sean Dyche football for you right there.
And this is the missed penalty.
Yeah. This is why he's not going to keep his job, Chris. You can't continue to do this week after week and keep your job. Sean Dyche seemed like he was trying to play for a point. We did not have a single
Corey predicted
didn't.
it pre-match. He was like, I'm hoping for a relatively mid to low block, 0-0, and then we try and nick something at the end. And you know what? We got a point because I honestly thought we'd get flogged today. So, but I don't want to credit Dyche because we didn't play well. We got dominated and we got lucky. It wasn't,
Yeah, it was a lucky point. I did a true confession. I did the emotional hedge when betting today. I did I'm going to bet money on Newcastle to win. So that way, at least I get something out of this. So, I mean, I made $10 today, but
yeah.
I mean, it is.
So
what it
when
is.
you look at that chart, you basically.
Oh no, I lost $10. I lost $10 today. Oh well.
What, you bet on Everton winning?
No, I bet on Newcastle to win. But hey, a draw is. Hey, I'll take the point. I'll pay $10 for a point.
Well, in fantasy football or FPL, I could have gone for Gordon today, but I didn't, and I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah, he was awful. All right,
he's an emotional player. So
should we hit scores? Let's score the side today. I think we usually start with the defenders. Let's start up top. Let's go from Dominic Calvert-Lewin and work our way backwards, just because. Why not? DCL. What did you think out of DCL today? Not a whole lot of. I mean, certainly a lot of balls up to him, but not a lot of great chances outside of when he probably should have been awarded the penalty. What did you see or like out of DCL tonight?
I think he was better than a pass, but not by much. I'm giving him like a 6.5.
Yeah, I think I'm
He,
with you on
he,
that.
he challenged, but he was also didn't have much. He took it on. He could have won a penalty and scored it in a different game.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I think I lost count by how many times we hoofed the ball up to him and he was surrounded, and
Yeah.
he has absolutely no chance of winning that ball, bringing it down, or holding it up.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot that he could do, but I think the options in that position are non-existent right now. So, yeah, I think a 6 and 6.5 sounds about right for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If he would have hit his first shot on, we wouldn't have to worry about the follow-up being potentially a penalty, but it is what it is. Dwight McNeil,
Wait,
back. Yeah.
one second. I'm gonna give this a shout out because of all things, Anthony Gordon's hair is a
Is it
1.
atrocious, and his penalty was doo-doo. Uh, it's Anthony Gordon's hair. What
Dude,
is he
yeah,
what is he
tell me you have
doing?
kids without telling me you have kids, Chad.
I mean, it's yeah, that's probably true. Okay. Dwight McNeil playing in that 10 role again, more central, worked his tail off.
Yeah.
Not a lot to
It
show
was
for it.
a
He had a couple shots.
he's a it was very much behind the scenes in possession. Did diddly squat. He was a workhorse behind the ball to shut them down. I give him a 5 though. Like he did that part, but we need him to do more.
I agreed. If you're going to be in that position, we need something more out of you, and it can't just be
You
a
gave
strike. Yeah, a single strike and
well,
and hope for the best.
I'm glad that Bruno Guimaraes was actually like pressured a little bit today because he's the reason we've lost against him. So, but that's a dice decision on where to send him.
Yeah. Um. So let's say, wait, Dwight. We're gonna go with 6. I think we go with 6 on
I mean, I
Dwight.
was going with 5. If you want to
Give him a
say
5.
6,
I'm gonna save my 5 for Jack Harrison. So Jack Harrison,
well, they're
what
both 5 to me.
are they both 5? Okay. Okay. I can't argue with it. I mean, we looked pitiful today.
I mean, if 6 is a pass, we drew against Newcastle, but we got lucky. Do we say 6 is a pass for that? Like, maybe, but it's lucky to give him a 6.
Yeah, could you tell how like tepid like our want to be enthusiasm for this match is kind of leaking through to this show right now? We're um
Yes,
yes, yeah.
I
Yeah, I
mean
thought
there was
I thought
they battled, but battling was it.
yeah, that was it. That was it. I thought Harrison was pretty bad today. Yeah, I'm gonna give Harrison probably a generous 5. And unfortunately, we just don't have any other options. So it looks like he's going to stay on the right. Illuminandi on the left side, the left mid. I think there's just so much to like about him. He oftentimes feels like a man on an island, just without
Mhm,
anyone kind of matching his creativity. There was the one point where he found himself on the right, and I think
mhm,
he was driving with the ball, and then he heeled it back, hoping, I think, was it maybe Garner was going to be behind him,
mhm.
or maybe it was Harrison, and no one was there. And you
Yeah,
just
I
wonder,
think
like,
he.
yeah, you just wonder, like, if he was playing with anyone that had his level of creativity or offensive awareness, like, I think that's when we would really start to hum. But he's on an island
Yeah,
here.
and you've got to love it because like Raul Jimenez today for Fulham had this brilliant back heel against Man City, and it was just like a sight to behold. And it's like a back heel is a surprise at a Premier League level to Everton. like, but okay, Njai was good, but the challenge for today was he was up against an opposition that was equal or better than him, but he was still would give the game on. But it felt like the challenge. Who else was with him to interact? I think 6.5. He's better than most, but he
Mhm.
didn't really break the game open today.
Yeah. I'd probably be a little bit more generous with a 7, but I agree with you on
But
all your
this is
points.
potatoes and potatoes now.
Yeah, I know, I know. Abdoulaye Doucouré, I'm done. Chris,
I struggle.
I've
A
hit the point with
five,
Abdoulaye Doucouré
but
where I'm done.
okay. But here's the thing: if he scored that goal, we'd give him a 7 or an 8 because he scored. That's what's so funny about
Probably,
this.
probably. But if we win, if
He,
he scores that goal, then we win. And it kind of
yeah.
changes the mood of
Then we say,
everything.
well, he can't time his run properly. He was behind the player. He should know better.
Uh,
F-
that's impossible.
5.5 to 6, but like, not real. Again, a journeyman working hard, but he gave the ball away a lot and really sloppy when he did, and put us under pressure a lot because he couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing
I think he
special.
was a 5, and that might be I might be nice by saying Abdoulaye Doucouré was a 5. Um, Oral Mangala, I didn't see issue. I'm gonna have to go back and watch his performance, but I did not see anything wrong to the point where I would have expected him to be subbed off like he did. I think it might have just been him wanting to get Idrissa Gueye into that game. Um,
Yeah.
but I thought
It
Mangala was
may
fine.
well
He's
be that Ghana Gay progresses up the field a little bit more.
yeah.
And I will add, Ryan, if you want to just like add comments and rant in message form, we can talk on your behalf when you're like network and received. We can do that too.
We'll just read his comments. But yeah, well, if you could jump on Ryan, please do. That'd be great. I thought Mangala was fine. You know what? His role on this team is obvious. He's going to play that deep sitting midfielder, that 6. Um,
Hmm.
he's going to challenge. He's going to make it hard to play through the middle. I thought he was pretty good. I think Mangala is almost a must start at this point. I don't
Yeah,
know what Sean Dyche is thinking, but I thought he was fine. I thought he did exactly
but it
what
was a must
was
start.
asked
He
of him.
started.
Y- Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I think he makes he scores that sitter that Idrissa Gana didn't. Um, okay, Ashley Young. Ashley Young playing it right back today. I think I have to apologize to Ashley Young. Last pre-match, I kind of went off about him playing, and then now he's stringing together solid game after solid game.
Well, okay, and I've said this pre-match. I think if Ashley Young is not faced up against a pacey winger, he will do just fine. The problem is anyone with pace and he's going to get red carded. And today he was up against,
I would agree.
was it Jacob Murphy and one other. I've got to run off real quick and I'll come right back. Okay, you want to?
Yeah.
You could have, yeah. All right.
I will try to hold with what may very well be spotty internet. I'm not. It seems like I might be blinking out a little bit. All right, let's get to your comments. As I said, I think I might have bleeped out a little bit, but Ashley Young, I kind of went off on in the last pre-match. I thought he was actually really solid today. Really heady game. As Chris mentioned, if he's going to go up against anybody with pace, that he's going to struggle. But he didn't face that today. He was fine. And he had Michael Key next to him. That entire side made me a little scared the entire time. But I thought he did well. I thought he did well in his minutes that we saw tonight. So let's see. Michael Keane. We'll move over to Michael Keane. Michael Keane. I didn't see the mistake that Chris talked about early on, but I thought it was a pretty solid effort out of Michael Keane today. It's probably good that we see. All right, Peter, you're gonna have to explain to me why Michael Keane got a 5. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, I missed the beginning where he may have cost us a goal, I guess it was close. What did we think about Michael Keane tonight? He catches a lot of stick, but I thought he played pretty well tonight. And then James Tarkowski, what is he thinking with that pen off the corner? That's what's so frustrating for James Tarkowski. He is one of those players that you don't anticipate doing something so foolish, so idiotic as throw a person down in the box the way that he did. But thankfully, Jordan Pickford was able to save his ass on that one tonight. Chris, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the Turkey penalty, the Turkey foul?
Well, Taki finally got caught with his pants down being a cheeky shit, having his hands on people and getting away with it for years, and this time it didn't work out.
It was so blatant. I think what really got me was the shirt pull, because he whips him, and he like pulls the shirt down with it, which is like that's going to get called 10 times out of 10, especially if there's VAR, which there is. So really stupid. I don't know. He just had a moment of idiocy that came over him. But I thought he was solid otherwise, besides just that incredibly idiotic play.
Yeah, I think he was generally good. Like, I'm trying to think of with Taki. My challenge with him is that he, at times last year by the end, you realized he wasn't fast enough to keep up with the high line that Everton needed to press them in. So he would sometimes be out of position with the rest of the squad, and that would cause some of the challenges. I didn't feel like he was outmuscled in the box, but I guess we didn't have enough set plays to really see him out front. But I think physically he controlled the box just fine. But a lot of the times when you really want to look into Taki, it's more okay. They hit a channel. How do you recover? Or how do I say this right? So you hit the chat. Either they're going in the channel and you're having trouble with them, or sometimes he will jump early or not coordinate with Keane well on like holding a line, and they'll just cut through us. So that's the challenge for me. It was like, if he struggles to keep up with pace, how do we make sure that people don't just like cut through us because him and Keane do not know how to coordinate their the defensive line for offside. Yeah. But I think today they didn't really stick out to me at all. But yeah, to Ryan's point, what was it? The last three results have restored respectability. I guess results are the most important thing.
Absolutely.
No losses, and makes Ryan the happy boy.
Yeah, with Palace struggling, with Wolves struggling, Ipswich, now without a win on the season, Southampton struggling. A point is a good result. For this season right now, a point is a good result. So I think we'll take it. Lastly, before we go, it's, after 3 in the morning for you over there in Australia. So we won't keep you. Jordan Pickford, was he your man of the match, Chris? You thought he was quite good?
He was out of his box a lot today. I don't think he did almost a foot wrong. I'd give him a 9. Like, he was, to me, out and out, did his job, saved a penalty. I'm not sure what else you could ask for him, other than scoring off a header in the last minute on the corner or something.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, hey, we will get out of here so Chris can actually go to sleep. Thank you for watching. Follow Everton. Sorry if this show has been maybe a little has lacked some of the animation, or I don't know, joy.
It was 0-0. What are we gonna do? Say, oh my god, it was an amazing match. It was gritty and a point. It was a point, and we will take a point. All right, we will see you soon. I don't know if anyone's going to have a show midweek, but we will of course be back with you. Who's on the next one? I'm gonna, let me look real quick. And there is an international break for a while, so
there's we don't play again until the 19th at Ipswich. So there will be more to follow Everton content coming. I don't know what it is yet. Maybe a Midnight Blues with me and yours truly, or with Chris and yours truly, but we'll see.
And I've caught up with Adam today, so he's alive and kicking over here in Australia. So who knows? We'll get something together.
So we're gonna get a dedicated Australian blues show at some point. It sounds like
we'll have to have an Australian gimmick. No, just tell us what you think on the comments.
It should be like, with those old wrestlers, how they come out with the same like they have the same mask, and like when they're losing, they crawl under the ring and they put the same mask on, and then their opponent can't tell who they are. You guys could do like masks, and then you'll confuse
There's
us.
a lot of WWE references I can go with, but I didn't follow it enough to know, and I'm not sure if the British
I don't know.
contingent follow WWE enough to go with this.
I don't know. I think everybody gets that reference. At
I'll
least
just
they
have a
should.
kangaroo mask and be like, "I am not your father." And you're like,
Oh, yeah. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Hey, thank you for watching. We'll be back with you soon with some new content. All right, have a good night, Blues.
see you guys.